Hello, everybody. My name is Alan, and it's that time again for a Tuesday Quick Blast with my partner in crime, Mr. Marty. Marty, how are we doing tonight?
Doing great. Good to see you and good to see everybody in the chat tonight.
Yeah,
Hello,
already
hello.
we're seeing Tim is here as always. He's first in line. Celtic Frosty's there. Celtic, congratulations! The last day of school coming up. That's always awesome to hear. And thanks for checking out the Pestilence album for tomorrow night's Heavy Metallurgy Book Club, where we've been listening to Pestilence's Exidium. Exidium. Those Latin titles where the V becomes a U always mess with me, but
Yeah.
yeah, if folks want to join us tomorrow night, along with Jim and hopefully TJ, we'll be
Yep.
talking about the 2021 album from Pestilence and seeing what everybody has thought of that one. But tonight we're just here for something. Tim's been listening to Pestilence as well, so cool. Be glad to hear what you'll have to think about that. But that's for tomorrow night. Tonight we're just here for a short little video, like we've been doing, to do something fun. And tonight we again decided that we would do albums of the day. So, Marty, is there anything you would like to announce before we each reveal our album of the day?
No, I did not put the link to the shirts in the description today because I forgot to. But yeah, there's shirts.
Yep. If
as
anybody,
many as many of you know, a lot of you have been buying them. Thank you so much. I need to get on the stick and we need to get another shirt design figured out. Some ideas, but nothing set in stone yet. So
yeah, we'll come up with some other kind of cool item for folks in the near future. And yeah, the links in all the other recent heavy metallurgy videos, so you can check it out there. Marty's got shirts in every size. And yes, thanks to everybody who has bought a shirt or put some money in with the fancy super chat thing. It's always very cool and very kind to just help pay the StreamYard fee.
yes,
Have some money to replace audio equipment when things don't work, upgrades and stuff like that. Always very kind.
very appreciative.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Marty, do you want to go first tonight, or do you want me to?
I can go first tonight, I guess.
All right. Let's see what you've got for your album of the day.
A month or so ago, a buddy of mine went down to Jason. Shout out to you if you're watching. We went down to Grand Rapids and hit up Vertigo Records. Anybody that lives in Michigan or have been around, Ben, I need to get a hold. I just noticed it here a little bit ago. I'll get a hold of you later and thank you for that. It's quite awesome. I listened to it today, actually. Anyway, we went down to Vertigo Records, which if you're from the Michigan area and you've been there, you realize it's got a lot of punk and metal and industrial and all kinds of, fringe style music. But Herm, the guy that owns it, he doesn't price the stuff super crazy. And there's a ton of used things. But I walked in there and ended up picking this little treasure up. It's on Dry Heave Records. It is, let me get this going here.
It's a great label name, by the way.
Yeah. Denial Fiend, Horror Holocaust. This is a super group of sorts. It's got Blaine Cook from The Accused on vocals. It's got Terry Butler from Death and Massacre. On bass, Sam Williams on guitar from Massacre and also Down by Law. And Rob Rampy, who was also in DRI, Power of Pain, and Hellbender. So yeah, a couple of these guys I never heard of before, but I was always under the impression this was death metal project with Blaine singing on it, and honestly, it is not that death metal-y to me. It sounds like another crossover record with a lot of heaviness to it, really well produced. And Blaine, if you're a fan of The Accused, he sounds so good. He's like one of my favorite screamers. He is absolutely unhinged and crazy. His voice doesn't sound aged at all. What year did this come out? This came out in 2011, so it's a bit old, but yeah, it's really cool. Vinyl pressing, got a red black marble thing going on. But if you're fans of The Accused, Cryptic Slaughter, DRI, this would be right up your alley. A little heavier than that. They were trying to lean into the heavier, deathly elements. There's 8 songs on it. I believe it's 45 RPM, so it goes pretty quick. So the songs aren't super long or super involved or complex. It's just the right mix of punk edge, hardcore edge, and metal. It's just a good crossover record. I think there was one. Let me check here. I think there was one more album they did. This is their last album. It says they're still active, but they haven't done anything since 2011. So that would lead me to believe that they're no longer active. They have a debut called They Rise, and they did an EP and a split with somebody with Incantation. So yeah, there's some definite some big timer old schoolers involved in this, but I really enjoyed it. Listened to it quite a few times. I got it relatively cheap as well. I think I got it for like $10 or $11. Totally worth it. If you're into The Accused, do not sleep on Denial Fiend. Good stuff. Alan, what did you pick?
Very cool. I've got one here. Folks are chiming in with some of theirs too. So just shouting out a few. Joe's album of the day has been COC's Blind, which is a great album. Like that one by them quite a bit. Mel's album of the day is the new Seventh Wonder, which is really, really good. Fans of that band should be really happy with that album. The last album, I think some folks were maybe just slightly disappointed in, but it seems like they bounced back really strong on this one quite a bit. So yeah, folks are checking out some cool music out there. For my pick today, I went with an oldie but a goodie, and this one came up last Wednesday night in the book club chat. And I think it was actually Jim that somehow got off on a tangent about Riot and talking about some of their albums, and made me realize I hadn't listened to Born in America in quite a while. This is a weird album in Riot's catalog. It's kind of the forgotten album. A lot of people, I don't think, got the chance to hear this one when it came out. It's the second album with Rhett Forrester on vocals. Came out in '83. It's the last one they released before they went on this big 5-year hiatus. And the band got fully deconstructed. And when Mark Reale came back in '88, it was a brand new lineup with a very different sound for the Thundersteel era. A lot of people really like the album before this, Restless Breed, which was the first one that had Rhett Forrester on vocals. I've never been the biggest fan of that album. Something just always seems a little off on it to me. I've never known if perhaps they had written some of the material for Guy Speranza to sing, and then when he left, the songs just didn't quite fit Rhett's singing style. He has a very different voice than Guy did. Or maybe they were just very rushed. Restless Breed, let's see, Fire Down Under came out in '81 and obviously was a big success for them. But then in '82, you had Restless Breed released. So there wasn't a lot of in-between time to, break in a new vocalist and write a new album. Regardless, this one came out in '83, and for my money, this has always been the better of the two Rhett Forrester albums. The songs on here just feel a lot more powerful, much stronger. I think they play to Rhett's strengths. He's got one of those really good bluesy kinds of voices, where he can put a lot of emotion into it as well as a lot of power. And the album's just stacked with great tracks. It starts off, right away, pounders like Born in America. You Burn in Me is perfect for Rhett Forrester to sing. You've got Wings of Fire is kind of early, U.S. power metal at its best. Running from the Law has a great vibe. There's even a cover of an old Cliff Richard song. Cliff Richard, sure, whatever, but they do a badass cover of Devil Woman on here. It's just, Gunfighter is really good. Heavy Metal Machine is, just a pounder. So it's a great track list, and it's an album that just gets overlooked by a lot of folks. The band wasn't on Elektra at this point. It actually originally came out on something called Quality Records or Quality Music. I've never heard of the label before, but they had lost their big label support. They disappeared pretty quickly after this. Rhett Forrester rapidly moved on to other projects, so it's just kind of the overlooked album. I'm kind of convinced, at least the conspiracy theory corner of my brain says that people like Restless Breed more than this only because they've heard Restless Breed a lot more. That was a major label release. Everybody's heard it. Everybody's seen that horrible, horrible album cover with the little kid and the seal. I don't know how many people have actually listened to this one. I get the sense that not a whole lot of people outside of the really faithful Riot fans ever went and checked out Born in America. And I think if they did, they'd pretty rapidly figure out that, wow, this one is just much stronger start to finish than Restless Breed is. But maybe it's just me, and I've got it ranked a lot higher than many other folks do. But if you have missed that one in Riot's catalog, go dig it up. It is a really strong album. It's one of Rhett Forrester's best vocal performances. I don't know if I like that better or his performance on the first Jack Starr solo album, Out of the Darkness. He sounds great with Jack Starr as well. But yeah, if you like Rhett's kind of bluesy, a little bit of southern touches here and there in his voice, you will really like Born in America. It's another great entry in Riot's fantastic catalog. Marty, do you know that one?
I think I have that one. I'd have to get up and look. But you mentioned the Cliff Richards cover of Devil Woman. I was talking about Blaine from The Accused singing on this. The second Accused album, More Fun Than an Open Casket Funeral, they also do a cover of Cliff Richards' Devil Woman. So pretty crazy. Telling Ben to check out Thundersteel.
Thundersteel is great, but yeah, I mean, it's moving rapidly towards kind of the European power metal, power speed metal kind of sound. It has very little in common with the late 70s and early 80s Riot whatsoever. Excellent stuff. Just it could have been a completely different band, and nobody would have ever thought twice about it. I think they toyed around with some other names. I think there was a demo released under the name Narita, but it may have only been a couple of the members or something. Mm-hmm. Again, there's 5 years of kind of hazy goings on there. There was one point where Harry Conklin from Jag Panzer was kind of in the band for about 5 minutes, trying out for the band. I think a couple of songs were recorded as a demo to test him out, but it never fully gelled. So yeah, there's a lot of weird goings on in that 5-year hiatus.
It's kind of funny. Where is it here? Where's the comment? Oh, Beautiful Decay says, my album of the day is Darkness, Defenders of Justice. The High Roller reissue is really nice. In the last 2 years, I've seen so many people showing Darkness records. And it's a band that I have never heard. They passed me by back in the day. I'm assuming they're an older band, obviously, High Roller reissue. But yeah, have you heard that stuff? Is it good? Is it thrash? It's
another one, same as you.
Thumbs up. A lot of thumbs up. Jurgen showed them off, and I think Metal Mickey is showing them off, and I can't remember all who I've seen, but it seems like a lot of people have been really showing that lately.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. It's one that I always saw around, never actually picked it up, so I don't know. It's one that's it's on the list somewhere. It's kind of far down the list. It's never been a priority to check out, but yeah, I've noticed the same thing. It's one of those names that nobody ever used to talk about, and more recently, it seems to be a little bit more in vogue than it ever has been.
He says that they are a great German thrash band. Cool. Yeah. It's one of those I'll get around to eventually for sure.
Are there any German thrash bands?
Wait a minute.
I'm trying to think. Do they do that? Huh. That could be interesting. We'll have to check that out. Wow, a German thrash band. No, that actually, that could be promising. The Germans obviously quite good at that particular style.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yep. Well, yeah, that's what we have tonight. Just a little quick shot for all you folks. 2 and done. And you want to refresh people on the program notes for tomorrow, Alan, or shall I do that?
I'll be happy to do it. So yes, tomorrow night, Wednesday, the Heavy Metallurgy Book Club will be talking about last year's Pestilence album, Exidium. And on Friday night, we have something that should be a real treat. It's going to be a fun time. We've got Philip, the barbecutioner from the Chromium Dioxide channel, joining us for a chat about a non-German thrash band some of you might have heard of called Anthrax. And not sure if we're going to be it sounds like we're leaning towards ranking the albums, but still kind of working that out. But yeah, Philip's very passionate about this one, and
he came to us with the
he came knocking on the door.
He's like, he has a lot of shit he wants to say about anthrax. He's pissed that people aren't giving him their due. So Philip will be here with bourbon in hand probably, and tell us all where to go for our lack of vision. Yes.
Yep. He shall try to win folks over for anthrax. It's going to be interesting. I mean, it's a band everybody's familiar with to a point, but they've got a long career, and there's a lot of, they've changed direction a couple of times, and not everybody's been on board with some of those changes. I'll be interested to see what Philip thinks of some of those different eras of Anthrax, and to also kind of get a sense of what folks in the chat feel, if they are only interested in the classic stuff, if they like the Belladonna reunion, what folks think of the Bush era, of course, and all those albums that came out through the 90s and the early aughts. Should be a really, really fun show on Friday night. And looking a little further ahead than that, we're also talking with Matt over at the Dark Path, and it looks like pretty soon on the horizon, let's just say the pumpkin patch is getting mighty ripe, and it's about time to go pumpkin picking.
Yep, pumpkin ranking.
Pumpkin rank. We got to judge those pumpkins. They got those.
Got to judge pumpkins. Yep. Got
to figure out which one's the 2,000-pound winner, and which of those gourds is actually a spud.
That's right.
It's not going to be hard to figure out which one.
No, not too hard.
But so that's what we've got coming up for you in the near future. So thanks to everybody for jumping on tonight. It's always cool to see that folks are willing to jump on for these, even though they're short. We've got 39 people watching right now, which is really nice.
Which is nice.
And folks have shouted out. Yes, folks have shouted out, some cool albums, and folks are also chiming in with their 2 cents on some of these different albums, like the Riot catalog. I'm glad to see other folks are, enjoying Born in America and giving that album its due. It's one that for a long time just perennially gets overlooked in their catalog.
Yep.
All right, Marty, before I start rambling about Riot again, I think we better pull the plug on this one.
Hey, thanks everybody for sharing your album of the day with us. It was totally cool, and for everybody coming. And if you're just a looky-loo, why don't you go ahead and subscribe? That would be super helpful. That would be nice. That's it. And we will see you tomorrow night. And thank you all. Take care. Have a wonderful evening. See you tomorrow.
Absolutely. And Ben, that seal is the real deal. Don't diss the TR.
That's right. Never judge a book by its cover, especially metal.
Or a seal by its fur, tail, flippers, battle axe, cloak. Oh, TR's gone through some changes.
Oh, wait a minute. We got to end with, am I drunk or does this chicken taste funny? Is that the one? Is that the catchphrase? No.
Just end the stream. You're embarrassing us both now.